Hey guys, the Duda 2 here, and we're on Joseki number 10 through this textbook, 10 of 20. So I'm going to take a break after this number 10 because I really have no clue whether you guys, enjoy this, or is it too advanced, is it too basic? I got very little feedback other than on specific Joseki, which I thank you for that, because like I said, I'm not necessarily trying to really teach these, but I'm just kind of learning them myself and going through what I learned, and this is a good memory refresher for me, and hopefully some of you guys can bust out your board and play along with me and kind of learn what I'm learning as I'm learning it. So just wanted to make that clear one more time. This 10th Joseki is very common, and there are a couple different variations covered in this, so it might take a little longer. So I'm not going to waste time talking about it some more. Let's jump right into it and get this camera set up here. Like I said, this is number 10. So I'm going to try to zoom in a little. Let's see. Alright, and this way. One more. Let's see. Shut off my monitor. Sorry. There we go. Alright, so I think this looks pretty good. See everything alright? There we go. That's how we want it. Okay, so this Joseki, another star point, it assumes that you already did some type of extension. Over here, we'll keep this one. This is what the book shows. And then white approaches. Standard low approach, low knight's approach. So, what is black to do? Well, black chooses the tight pincer. And as we know, the Joseki would continue with the jump in the corner. Now, the previous Joseki we learned, black is going to do this, right? But that doesn't make use of this stone. So we want to make use of this stone. So in this instance, black's going to block this way. Okay. Any of you guys who've watched a lot of games, I'm sure you've seen this. It's pretty common. White wants to play up. Black plays up once more. What black's doing is threatening the peep. He's peeping at this. And instead of white just filling in, this is a bit more effective, because this also protects, as we'll see, and it allows white some other moves, such as possibly jumping out or jumping this way, etc., or playing down, or Hane, right? It just depends. And black wants to seal this up and blockade white, so black's going to do this move here. All these stones are connected pretty loosely. White is pretty much effectively blockaded out, and white gets some secure territory. So this is a Joseki. And notice how this stone works really well with these stones, right? Black is starting to build a pretty nice moyo here. Okay? So hopefully you've played through this and you have this. So let's go through and see what happens when different variations are played, or when somebody makes an overplay or doesn't quite follow the Joseki pattern. We'll see what kind of neat little damage we could do to somebody who screws this up, or what they can do to us. So this time, start off exactly the same, but this time black is going to play this Joseki that we learned this time. Okay. So white will play here, black will play here. Like I said, it's just like the other one. So, what happened? Well, Black really didn't gain any substantial territory, right? He gained a bit of a moyo, kind of without a very good base. White gained more territory than he would have gained this way, right? This would have been very small for white. This is pretty big. White has a lot of forcing moves over here, and black really doesn't have anything but potential, right? The other way he had nice potential and a nice base, but this way he doesn't really have anything but potential. And white has some forcing moves to kind of tear this up. I won't go into some of the details because I am still pretty weak for this aspect myself, but let's just assume that black blocked. Now white could play some type of move like this, or move like this, or jump up move like this, or move like this to threaten this, right? Different things like this later on in the game that's just going to eat all of this little bit of potential that black made up. So playing this way is definitely damaging for black. Now let's take a look at an old Joseki. This is the one that we played is relatively newer. Let's take a look and see what happens when we kick it old school. Right? So white jumps in here. Black plays in here. Plays down. That's going to play up. White's going to now play over. And black's going to play down like this. This is an old Joseki variation. You see this. I think Katani Minoru played this a lot. He's one of my favorite Go players from history, and he played this type of move in a lot of his games. White gets a bit more territory. He still gets a few forcing moves that we're going to go over, and black gets an even bigger wall. And if you know how to use it, I mean, this is very nice extension from this wall. Everything goes really good for for black on this. I believe that's why it's an older Joseki, because it says white could start a fight with this Hane right here, and this will eat up a lot of black's territory. So this is actually considered better for white by modern standards, but I believe they considered it better for black back in the day. Right? If white plays this Hane here, black can play here, and then white can play here. And then, if black puts too many stones here, white will get strong and come back and attack these. If black pressures white in here, white's just going to weaken this up. So this is considered a little bit better for white by modern standards, according to the Joseki dictionary. Also, something else to think about here is that to protect against this, instead of blocking down here, black can simply play up here. That'll protect against this fight start, but that allows white to either Hane at the end for endgame small points, jump out here to do some damage, or he could even do a monkey jump to eat up some territories if he ends up getting a stone over here or something like that. So either way, black will choose to either protect the top, protect the bottom, or protect the top. Right? And white will choose to either pick a fight up here or pick a fight down there. It doesn't have to be right away. It could be later in the game. But this is an old Joseki variation that I find very interesting. I like this myself. I'm a territorial-oriented player, and I kind of like that. That's pretty sweet. Okay, so let's see what happens when black is a little greedy. All right, so let's see what we got. Black's going to play over here. Trying to take a little more, right? Trying to just take a little more. White's going to play here, which forces black to fix, right? And when this happens, white escapes. Over here. And black's going to have to play here to fix. It's going to play over. And black plays one more. This is definitely damaging for black. If you look at it, you're thinking, okay, well, black got some really nice territory here. Well, I mean, that's true, but white has a little less territory, right? But compared to what would have been, white would have had a tiny area and been blockaded. And all of this would be potential black territory. Instead, black gets half of that potential and white gets out. So he could do all kinds of damage. And really, if you look at it like this, you know, white plays a move over here or something like this. If he could eat all this territory up, whose is better now, right? Just look at this whole side of the board as potential white, and you know, definitely not great. Not great for black at all if you look at it in context. That's why it's hard, especially for beginner players like myself, to see that this really isn't that good. I mean, it looks pretty good. You're what, 4, 8, 12, you know, 16-ish, maybe 20 some points over here, and white would have like maybe 2, 4, 6, 8, 10-ish, you know, points. 25 to 10, not very good, but you know, if you add the stone here and you add all these points, definitely not great. Okay, it's pretty even, but it wouldn't have been. I hope I butchered that and kind of helped clarify that a little bit. Let's look what happens when white screws up with an overplay. So white approaches here. Sorry, can't grab my stone here. And now what white's going to do is attempt to play underneath. Instead of playing back here and protecting his peep, he's going to play underneath. He wants to try to slip out a little early. Okay. So what happens is black simply ignores from now and pushes in because he smells blood, right? And so now white has to block, and black's going to get this move here. Now white has to play here or lose everything. Okay. You would think white would want to play here next and just kind of cut through everything. I'm sorry, white just fixed. You would think black would want to do something, you know, to just kind of limit all of this stuff. But really, now's the time for black to come down here and threaten this. Okay. What this does is this is going to allow white to fix his problem here. And now black's going to play up here. Black's going to fit. White's going to fix. Black's going to play up. White's going to play up again. And black's going to play up again. So instead of just taking and splitting and doing all this damage, black is very content to just build this massive wall with this stone right here. I mean, this is just massive. This is the biggest wall I've seen in any type of variation mistake or anything like that. So what does white get? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15-ish, 16-ish points. What does black get? Well, black's definitely going to get more than 16 points out of this potential. Right, if you just put one more stone here somewhere, anywhere, I mean, this is, or you can go over this way, whatever. I mean, this is just massive. So that's a big mistake for black, right? Or white, I'm sorry, not playing out Joseki properly. Let's check out some of these variations. This next one has to do with the older Joseki that we covered. I think it's interesting that the Joseki Compass covered this just in case it happened in the game. White's going to play the old variation and black's going to screw up the order of moves. And white's going to have a nice result, though it's a bit complicated. I'm still glad it went in there. Right, so let's see. We got the pincer. We got the jump in the corner. And we have the block this way. White's going to play up here. Black's going to play in here. Now white is going to play down here. Black now, if you remember, the correct response for black would be to push in, right? Because this is not good. But black instead decides he's going to just take the wall and block down here. Because there's 3 stones instead of 2 now, white can now come out, pretty safely. Okay, so now black says, all right, well, I don't want him to come out. It's going to play here. It's going to play here, disconnecting. White gets a nice forced move here, which black's going to fix. Right? Once black does this fix here, white then is going to threaten to come out this way. Black is a little worried about this area here, which is going to force white to fix. Black's going to come out here. White's now going to jump out here. This is making him scared that white's going to play a move down here and kind of cut all these stones off. Okay, black doesn't want that. So black's going to protect this little area here. And now white's going to continue up here and do some damage. I mean, if you look at this, it's definitely not good for black at all, right? White gets his base, plus he cut black into a weak group without a base over here, and as black fixes this, white's going to nickel away at this, or if black pushes this, it's going to push white out and white's going to take some of that. So as opposed to the other variations, it's definitely good for white. It's a little complicated, right? But white has good shape, black does not have good shape, and I mean this with leaning moves, and he's only on the 4th line, so technically, I mean white can jump over here somewhere and undercut or just push down. I mean it's just it's not very pretty. So keep the right order of moves in mind, especially with these older Josekis. The punishments are pretty severe. Okay, so let's go back to here. And then white approaches. Alright, so let's do. Okay. Black plays this odd move here. Okay, what black is trying to do is make some type of strong base down here. Definitely not good. The obvious move, which is really the main reason why black plays here, is to prevent a tiger's mouth here. And what do you think? Yeah, it's definitely bad for black. Black had the opportunity to have all of this as potential. Now instead he has just a little bit, and white is just eating away at that area, and this black stone really is kind of worthless right now. It's definitely not in a good position. So this odd move here, it's called a strange or an odd move, is definitely not good for black. It's very slow, and it allows white to escape. So guys, we got 2 more variations. These ones are pretty interesting. This one I've actually seen before, and when I seen it, I was thinking it was some kind of trick play, but really it was just a really loose kind of sabati move that was completely unnecessary and just allowed slow, solid play to just kind of demolish and take over. So let's take a look at this. This was odd when I saw it too. So, and white decided he's going to play here because technically technically these stones are all connected and safe, but it's definitely not cool. What do you think so far? It goes for the blockade. Obviously, I mean, it's a neat little move to keep these connected, but you only want to do something like this if there's a reason to, right? For white had some third line territory, and now white doesn't have very much, and there's still an awful lot of Aju here. So just don't do those loose moves unless you have to, okay? Let's do this last one. Alright, this is an overplay by white, and it's saying that black should cut to take advantage of white's mistake. So let's see what we're talking about here. It's showing white just playing up, trying to escape out. Probably the obvious move would be here, and cut here, threatening to come down and eat these stones. White doesn't want that, so he plays here. Black's going to play here. White's going to have to take or lose, and black's going to play here. Obviously, these white stones are not necessarily dead, right? They could play out like this. Right? They can't really do this or this. They could do this. Okay, so this would probably, depending on the board, probably here or here, but this is better, right? But this is definitely not good for white, right? Black still has its potential. Black's also starting a nice base over here, and these stones are under attack. And these groups, though they're probably going to live, right now it only has one eye, so he's got to come back and play it sometime or another. Right? Do you guys see how this is safe? Something like this, right? And then it's not a ladder, if you were wondering, but it is definitely just terrible. Or even here would probably be better. It's not bad either, right? I mean, you just get into a mess. It's definitely not cool, not good at all. So that overplay of stretching up is definitely not good. Let's go over the Joseki one more, and I'm just going to do a review on 1 through 10 for my next video, and then I'll stay away from these Joseki videos for a little while until I get some kind of feedback. If you guys aren't enjoying this, then I'll just kind of do this to myself and share some of the other stuff I'm working on. If you guys are liking and benefiting it, let me know, and then I'll you know, do some more. Because I noticed there hasn't been very many views on these, so if I'm you know, boring you guys, or if you're not liking it, you know, just let me know. I don't want to be too technical about stuff. I want to kind of keep it fresh. I don't know. All right, let's finish with it. Pincer, and white jumps in the corner. Black's going to block this way. White plays up. Black's going to also play up. Peeping white. White's going to protect his peep here. And black's going to seal in with a blockade with all this using together. This is a Joseki. So let's zoom out. So that's it. We made it 1 through 10 from the it's called Jungsuk Joseki Compass from Baduktopia. You can buy them at Yellow Mountain Imports, Amazon, or baduktopia.com. I believe they're also Go Game Guru is selling them, and I think I've seen them somewhere else too. I'm sorry, I can't remember. They're around it's around 13 bucks, and that's about it. Hopefully you enjoyed this one. This is a very common Joseki. You'll see it or have it played on you. You know, if you play a good amount of Go games, it'll happen. So hopefully you'll be able to play this Joseki a little safer. And if your opponent messes up, hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of that and just really cut through and rip it up. It's a great feeling. That's why I study these Josekis, because occasionally somebody messes up and you spot it right away and you're just like, yeah, let's see what I can do, you know, and you get excited, you get the blood flowing. It's one of the great parts of the game. People have been asking about my rank. I have not still been able to play very much, and I kind of got a bad taste in my mouth from that KGS where they just knocked me down 3 ranks for losing 1 game that I wasn't really playing seriously anyway, and it's a little frustrating. But I have checked out some of the other Go servers. Online Go servers, absolutely beautiful. It's a really nice looking Go server. I think I might give that a try, or I might just stick with KGS for a while and see what happens. I'm not obsessing about rank. I know I'm getting stronger, so it's not good to obsess about rank in any of these type of martial arts or games or anything like that. When I was doing martial arts for a long time, I was obsessing about getting a black belt, and it just slowed me down. Focus on it too much, you is it Bruce Lee said, if you keep your eye on the finger, you miss the big you miss what you're pointing at. So instead of keeping your eye on the finger, which would be a ranking, you want to keep your eye on the goal, which would be becoming a better Go player. So that's my philosophy. So I'm not entirely sure of my rank. We're going to be doing some testing in my Go club, and how we do that is we do the traditional. If you lose 3 matches, the person who beat you takes over your rank. Or if you lose 3 matches while or if you win 3 matches with somebody who has maybe 2 stones ahead of you, then you take that rank. Or, if you beat each other a couple times, you move up 1 stone. It's the traditional Japanese method of, you got to win 3 to move up. So that's the way we've been doing it. I know it's very strict as far as club concerns, as far as clubs go. But that's kind of the way we've been doing it. It's been keeping us really competitive and working it hard. So I'm going to put this video up. My next video will be a review of these 10. It'll be pretty brief. And then I'll stay away from the Joseki for a while. I'm working on another one that should be fun and interesting. And I hope you guys could give me some feedback on what you thought of the first 10 of the Joseki. But that's it. I'll keep a long video as short as possible. You guys take it easy, and I'll be back with another one. Have a good one. Later.